Two AI giants, same day, both claiming to be the best. On February 5th, Anthropic dropped Claude Opus 4.6. Hours later, OpenAI fired back with GPT-5.3 codex. This is a war, and only one model can win. We're doing 5 rounds, head-to-head. Let's settle this. Round 1. Real-world professional tasks. Finance, legal, business analysis. The stuff that actually pays your bills. There's a benchmark called GDPval-AA. It measures how well AI performs on tasks across 44 different professional occupations. Not toy problems, real work. Opus 4.6 scores 1,606 ELO. GPT 5.2, 1,462. That's a 144-point gap. In practical terms, Opus 4.6 produces the better result about 70% of the time. And GPT 5.2 was already beating human professionals 70.9% of the time on this same test. So Opus 4.6 is beating the model that was already beating humans. Round 1 goes to Opus 4.6. Round 2, coding. This is where it gets interesting because both companies are going all in on AI coding. On SWE-bench Verified, real GitHub issues, real code bases, Opus 4.6 hits 79.4%. GPT 5.2 gets 80%. Basically a tie, slight edge, to GPT, but Terminal Bench 2.0, which tests agentic coding in real terminal environments. This is where models actually write code, run it, debug it, and fix it themselves. Opus 4.6 scores 65.4%. GPT 5.2 base scores 62.2%. Now, here's the twist. OpenAI also released GPT 5.3 codex on the same day, specifically optimized for coding, and that scores 77.3% on Terminal Bench. So if we're comparing the best coding model from each company, OpenAI's specialized model wins on that benchmark. But Opus 4.6 does all of this in one model. No separate version needed. I'm calling this a tie. Both companies have strong cases here. Round 3, and this one isn't close. How much information can each model hold in its head at once? Opus 4.6 now supports 1 million tokens. That's roughly 7 full novels loaded simultaneously. GPT 5.2 supports 400,000 tokens. Still impressive, but less than half. And it's not just the size, it's how well they use that context. On the MRCR v2 benchmark, which hides information deep inside massive amounts of text and tests if the model can find it, Opus 4.6 scores 76%. The previous best Claude model scored just 18.5% on the same test. This matters because context rot, where AI gets confused in long conversations, has been one of the biggest complaints about every AI model. Opus 4.6 basically solves that problem. Round 3, Opus 4.6 takes it convincingly. 2 rounds left, and Opus 4.6 is leading. But GPT 5.2 has a weapon that could flip this entire comparison. Stay with me. If you're finding this useful, hit subscribe. I cover every major A I drop the moment it happens. Round 4, pure reasoning and math. And this is where GPT 5.2 fights back hard. On AIME 2025, competition-level mathematics, GPT 5.2 scores a perfect 100%. No tools, just raw math. Opus 4.6 scores around 93%. Still incredible, but not perfect. GPQA Diamond, graduate-level science questions, GPT 5.2 Pro hits 93.2%, and ARCAGI2, a test of abstract reasoning on problems the model has never seen before. GPT 5.2 scores 54.2% versus Opus 4.6 at 44.7%. When it comes to pure brain power on novel problems, GPT 5.2 has the edge. All tied up, everything comes down to the final round. And this one is about what you're actually getting for your money. Safety first. Anthropic ran what they call the most comprehensive safety evaluation ever done on a frontier model. Opus 4.6 matches or beats its predecessor on alignment and has the lowest over-refusal rate of any Claude model, meaning it won't annoyingly refuse harmless questions. GPT 5.2 also made safety improvements, 30% fewer errors than GPT 5.1 and reduced deception from 4.8 to 2.1%. Both companies are taking this seriously. Now, pricing. Opus 4.6, $5 input, $25 output per million tokens. GPT 5.2 standard, $1.75 input, $7 output. GPT 5.2 Pro, $21 input, $63 output. So the base GPT 5.2 is significantly cheaper for standard tasks. But GPT 5.2 Pro, the one that matches Opus on quality, costs more than double. It's a split. GPT wins on base pricing. Opus wins on value at the top tier. So who actually wins? Here's my honest take. If you're a developer who needs the best coding agent, the deepest context window, and the most reliable performance on long professional tasks, Opus 4.6 is the better choice right now. It does everything in one model, it holds 1 million tokens, and it beat GPT 5.2 on the benchmark that measures real-world work by 144 ELO points. But if you need raw reasoning power, mathematical precision, or you want the cheapest entry point into frontier AI, GPT 5.2 is genuinely impressive and costs less for everyday use. The real winner? Us. Because this competition is pushing both companies to build better tools faster than ever. What model are you using right now? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to see me test both of these on a real project head-to-head, hit subscribe and I'll make that video next. I'll see you in the next one.